On today's quick tool review, we're going to be looking at the PASD 4B2, Lidl's new entry into the cordless screwdriver market. This is on sale this week for 19.99 euros. And as you can see, it comes in a screwdriver form factor with a 18650 of a fairly low capacity of 1.5 amp hours, a fairly paltry rotation speed of 215 RPM, and it comes with 6 included bits, mostly just slotted Phillips and PASD drive here, although insulated up to 1000 volts. So if we pop this nice little box they've included for us, you can see on the edges there's always the little icon of the device inside, so you know what you're grabbing. We can see the device in question. So included are the 6 bits, a USB-C USB charger, 1.7 amps charging current, and the screwdriver itself. Fairly sturdy plastic construction, fairly decent quality on the build. We can see the quick data on here, put together with 6 screws, so exchanging the battery shouldn't be too difficult. You have your forward and backward switch here, some LEDs to illuminate the workpiece on the front. It has this nice rubber overmolding, so ergonomically speaking, it's fairly nicely built. If we take a look at the bits though, this is where the big disappointment comes. If you might notice, these aren't your standard 1/4 inch 6.35 millimeter bits that fit into the tool we have in here. So the bit holder is actually a proprietary, or not so much proprietary, but a Torx 50 bit. So you can see this fits almost perfectly with the bits that are included. So any hopes of using your standard bits that you might have lying around the house, it's just not going to work. One issue is that the recess is too deep, and the other is that it's using the Torx 50 profile for the bits and not your standard 1/4 inch hexagon. So the device itself is fairly sturdy. We can do a quick test of the fastening and unfastening capability here. So we'll bring in this sturdy heatsink that I have prepared here and do some screwing and unscrewing. So you have your standard forward and reverse. It has an automatic spindle lock, so you can turn the electric motor just a bit, and then you can see it locks in both directions. So you can manually fasten and unfasten any bolts you have. So if we give this a try on one of these bolts here, you can see it has a fair amount of torque to undo anything that's fairly stuck. If not, you can always resort to the manual unscrewing mode of action. You can see the spindle lock does take a little bit to get engaged, and it's also stripping this bolt. But you can see it's fairly decent. The speed is nothing to write home about, but it certainly is workable. Nothing really more to explain about. We have the standard instruction manual here. You can see just a quick rundown on the included parts, and these are your electrical specs on the driver and charger. Certainly a big disappointment is the use of this non-standard bit set here. So they do give you 6 bit drivers, but as you can see, the quality isn't anything special. I haven't pulled even a dozen screws with this bit, and it's already wearing quite badly. So unfortunately, even though the ergonomics and the build quality on this is fairly nice, it is a thumbs down due to the limited bits you can get. These are available as replacements, but you're limited to just Phillips and slotted, basically, which is quite useless if you want to be doing security torques or anything like that. My recommendation for a electric workbench driver would be this thing, the PAS4 D6, or you'll get any other variation of it. This is available for, I think, 12 euros it used to be. Very cheap, very sturdy. Speed-wise, you'll see it's just a little bit slower at 200 RPM than the screwdriver we were discussing earlier. Has the same fairly wimpy 1.5 amp hour 18650. But this form factor, I have to say, I actually prefer it. I thought this was going to be a bit bulky for sort of workbench service, but it really comes in handy and works well. So the basic package for 12 euros, you get the driver, just a charging cable and a couple of bits, not very important. But I have to say, this little thing has redeemed itself. Has a decent amount of power, very useful around the workbench and even around the house. So my recommendation, skip the shitty electric screwdriver and get this puppy instead. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Quick Tool Reviews. Bye-bye.